Use code Proxidist for 20% off any tub at G Fuel. Crimson Desert is a game that's releasing next month, and I don't trust it. I don't believe it's gonna be a good game. And I know that makes me sound like such a downer. It makes me sound like the negative YouTuber who's just spouting the negative opinions about stuff, but listen, I want Crimson Desert to be good. If Crimson Desert is what it's supposed to be showing, and like it actually follows through with all of these things and it is literally the ultimate game of all games, then great. Literally, if it comes out and it's good, I will eat my words in my review of Crimson Desert. I will buy it for full price and review it on this channel. But I don't trust it. I don't believe it's gonna be as good as they're making it out to be. And I think that might just be the cynical side of me, because I've been burnt way too many times with this industry. There's been so many examples of games throughout my entire life that are just too good to be true, and they come out being pretty underwhelming. Even games that I like, some of them come out being pretty underwhelming, like Dying Light 2. I loved that game, but we didn't get a lot of things that we were promised, you know? A lot of these companies can be very misleading, and listen, Crimson Desert, when I first saw it in 2020 at the Game Awards, I thought it was just going to be vaporware. There's something about these hyper-realistic open world games that just there's always one or two of them at game shows, I swear, and they just never see the light of day. And I thought Crimson Desert was going to be one of them. Also, it looked like shit in the 2020 gameplay reveal. It was just coated in that hideous motion blur, a bunch of stock-looking particles everywhere. It looked like a game that was just like, I couldn't tell what it was supposed to be, really. And it makes sense because this is being developed by an MMO developer, Pearl Abyss, you know, the guys who made that one MMO that you probably have in your library because they keep giving it out for free, you know, Black Desert. Have any of you played Black Desert? I have. It was pretty boring. I'm not really a huge MMO fan, so I can't really comment all too much, and it would be unfair on Black Desert Online if I was just like, the game's bad, because I don't like MMOs in general. But originally, yeah, Crimson Desert, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, this looks like it's not even gonna see the light of day. Like it just looks boring, looks like nothing. But the more they've shown, it seems like there's a lot going on in this game. And by a lot, I mean it looks like it has every single idea and mechanic under the sun. It looks like they couldn't say no to the creative director of the game. And I made this tweet here about it where I said, am I crazy for thinking Crimson Desert just looks kind of bland? Like, it looks like such a mishmash of random ass mechanics and features put together. Like, it looks like throwing shit at a wall to see what sticks to the game. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, by the way, for riveting takes like this. But quite a lot of people agreed with me. My main concern about Crimson Desert is either a lot of these mechanics are going to be taken out just before launch because there's so many of them that they just didn't have time to refine them all or develop them enough, or the other scenario where there's so many where they couldn't really focus on specific mechanics and fine-tune them to make them as good as they can be, instead just opting for a million different mechanics that are all pretty mediocre because they just didn't have enough time to flesh them all out. That's what I feel like Crimson Desert is going to be like. Just a massive hodgepodge of different ideas, a complete mess, and the world as well. Like, it looks like it's all style with zero substance. Like, wow, it's a pretty Unreal Engine 5 looking hyper-realistic world, a weird fantasy world with like forests and towns and fucking, I don't know, a desert area. But from what I've seen of the gameplay footage, it doesn't look like there's anything really in these worlds. Like, I don't think it's going to be like an Elden Ring situation where you're stumbling across like a bunch of like cool areas that you want to explore that lead to even more cool areas. It's probably going to be a Ubisoft open world where everything's just completely spread out from each other because they opted to make the biggest open world they possibly could make. That probably is the case, let's be real. I don't know why developers focus so much on making the world as big as they can without putting anything in it. It doesn't look like there's a lot going on in Crimson Desert's open world at all. And that would make a lot of sense. I mean, this is MMO developers we're talking about. I think this is their first actual single player game that isn't an MMO. And I'm calling it now. And if I'm wrong, then I will gladly say I'm wrong, because it would be pretty cool if this game is really good and all these mechanics are amazing, because I love the idea of some of these, like that one sky boss thing that they showed off. That looks cool as fuck. But I feel like this game is gonna have MMO mission design. And by that, I mean it's just gonna be an NPC giving you a fetch quest or telling you to go kill a few mobs in a certain area on a grassy field, or going into a dungeon to kill a raid boss with like barely any substance to it. I don't know, like, I don't trust it. I don't trust this game. Maybe I'm just being a cynical prick, and I really hope that's not the case, but I can't be the only one, right, who doesn't trust this game. I don't believe this is going to be a good game. I believe this is just a mishmash of ideas that they threw into some generic looking fantasy world that is just not going to do anything special or anything well, and it's going to come out to reviews and reception from everyone, and it's just going to fade into obscurity, and Pearl Abyss will go back to working on Black Desert Online or whatever the fuck it's called. Again, could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. I'm being a cynical prick right now, but let me know what you all think. Let me know if I'm being crazy about this. Let me know if I'm just being a cynical prick and the game is actually looking good, and like, I don't know. I don't trust it. Also, it looks nowhere near as good as The Evil Within, let's be real, fellas. If we're gonna like judge a game by how it looks, you gotta compare it to The Evil Within, and The Evil Within is the pinnacle of games, and it's doesn't look anywhere near as good as The Evil Within, let's be real. It looks like shit because it looks nothing like The Evil Within, the best game ever made. So, if you're thinking about buying Crimson Desert, you could probably buy about like 10 copies of The Evil Within with that money. I'd recommend doing that instead. Seriously though, if Crimson Desert is really good, I will review it on this channel. I will buy it for full price. You have my word. Now, a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. That being Nintendo Pro, Profit, Ryan IDC, Pitstab, Bouncer Storm Productions, and Daniel Levchenko. And a huge thank you to my channel members. There are so many of you. It is absolutely insane. I think we're over 20 now. But still, a huge thank you to Evan Underhill 2342, Bidu for Doom, Gabriel Padro 5589, Scary 1407, Iteria, Eggy613, Wentel77, Riff King 66, Dizrays 3250, Sobitax, Liam Talks About, Andreas Stewart 8871, Ethank78, Galaxy 11243, Simon Telmac 3422, Floaty38, Wolfborn TV, Rust on Wood, L Hayes 117, also known as Some Balding Guy Rambling Into the Void, Griefgar, and Resistance Lion. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best, and I will see you all in the next video.